Hello and welcome to the C Group Podcast. Thank you. Thank you, Seedlings, for joining us. And just like we said in our short, that we were going to talk a little bit more about Blackbird, about Paul McCartney and Blackbird. Now, Albert had some interesting things to say about the meaning behind the song.
I did.
Yes, so let's hear it.
I have a quick question.
Yes.
I just want one question. Norman's wearing his hat. I'm wearing my hat. Where's your hat? Then we're going to Blackbird.
I left it. I left it in my other coat.
Not you, if I had known that, I wouldn't have worn a hat. Anyway, Blackbird by Paul McCartney.
Yeah.
My favorite person. Paulie did it, and he wrote it. What was that about? Civil Rights Act.
Civil Rights, yeah.
And he was so enthralled about the young lady going by herself into a prejudiced school.
Yep, and talking about
that was
something
beautiful song.
Yeah, and talking about the Little Rock Nine. Yep.
And I never knew it until you mentioned it, and I went, "What?" Seriously, all these years I know all the Beatles songs. I always thought,
and that one I knew about, and it's just a beautiful song, and the meaning behind it makes it even more so of a special thing to listen to. But also, Paul McCartney. Talked about that and what it meant to write that song. And then Beyonce, of course, decided to cover it for her country album. Yeah, Cowboy Carter. That's right.
Oh,
and she calls it Blackbird, Blackbiird. And what I looked up, and I want to get this right. I looked up what Beyonce said about writing this on her Instagram. She says this album, not just the song, this album has been over 5 years in the making. Again, this is Beyonce speaking on this. It was born out of an experience that I had years ago where I did not feel welcome. And those of you that know exactly what she's talking about. And it was very clear that I wasn't. But because of that experience, I did a deeper dive into the history of country music and studied our rich musical archive. It feels good to see how music can unite so many people around the world while also amplifying the voices of some of the people who have dedicated so much of their lives educating on our musical history. The criticisms I faced when I first entered this genre forced me to propel past the limitations that were put on me. Act 2 is a result of challenging myself and taking my time to bend and blend genres together to create this body of work. So that, and Beyonce's collaborators, because I love this, these are 4 black women in country music that were her background singers on Blackbird. And her collaborators on the track were Tanner Adele, Brittany Spencer, Tiara Kennedy, and Raina Roberts. And if you don't know who these people are, look them up. They are amazing. They're fantastic. You'll be glad you did. Yep. Now, one of my all-time faves is Mickey Guyton. I love her. And Beyonce actually thanked Mickey Guyton because she said she helped pave the way for her in the country music arena. I love that. And Beyonce sent her a message which said, and I quote, "Mickey, thank you for opening doors for me, Queen. Keep shining. Love and respect, Beyonce." And Mickey Guyton shared that on her Instagram. And if you don't know who Mickey Guyton is, one of the songs Mickey Guyton did was Black Like Me. And it was nominated for a Best Country Solo Performance at the Grammys at the 63rd Annual Grammy Awards.
And see, I had never heard of her until then. I didn't realize we had that many black female artists in country music.
And Mickey Guyton did actually Mickey Guyton paved the way because she was the first black woman to receive a Grammy nomination in that category.
There you go, and she's cute too.
And you could probably go online, YouTube of course, and see some of her performances. But I love what Paul McCartney did. And the Beatles, also another fact, the Beatles made sure that their audiences were desegregated when they performed. Yeah. And like I said, I like the Beatles, but I really love Sir Paul McCartney. And Blackbird, to be honest with you, that sealed the deal. And and listen to both versions, Paul McCartney's version. And by the way, if some of you are wondering what Sir Paul McCartney felt about Beyonce covering his song, let's get this right. On his Instagram post, he said, "I am so happy with Beyonce's version of my song Blackbird. I think she does a magnificent version of it, and it reinforces the civil rights message that inspired me to write the song in the first place. I think Beyonce has done a fab version and would urge anyone who has not heard it yet to check it out. You are going to love it." And one of the great things is to listen to Paul McCartney, the original Blackbird, and listen to Beyonce's. And to me, it still holds true because it's showcasing women that you probably didn't even know were in the country music genre. So Blackbird is taking their wings and they are flying in country music, and you are so wrong. And like I said, it's just wonderful. And what I love what Beyonce did, she literally also had people dive deep into the origins of country music. And it's been wonderful hearing these new artists. And it's just beautiful what is happening. And I consider Beyonce like Michael Jordan. She experienced something during that time when she sang and she didn't feel the acceptance. And she came back hard like Michael Jordan came back when he came on the paint and he did those scores when people were counting him out. And this was really worth the wait. I have every track that I've heard thus far has been amazing, and I look forward to hearing more. So thank you, Paul McCartney. And matter of fact, before I do wrap it up, do you guys have anything to say? Because I just hogged everything because I'm so excited about it.
Norman?
Well, I was so happy about this song, and I was one of the last ones to hear it, I guess, but it kind of really spoke to me, and it made me think about it. The United States is a separated country, and it's not because we were forced that way. It's because some of our citizenry chose to have it that way. But there's this old statement where it says, "A country divided shall not stand."
Yes.
And we have to realize that we're playing with dangerous things when we want to go and push people to the sides. These are our brothers, our sisters. We may not be the same color, we may not have the same background, but we still have one thing in common when we call ourselves United States citizens, and things like that. And we talk about the pride. So the pride is working together. The pride is seeing the best in yourself and seeing it reflected with others. The pride and the goodness comes from seeing that you may have helped somebody to get to a point where they may never have gotten to because of your experience and your personality and all that. When we work together, we can't be beaten.
Like us.
Like us. We're a great team, and we are definitely stronger together than we are apart, especially with our producer Marcus that holds it all together. Yes. And that's the great thing about music. Music is a great uniter. And I am seeing a lot of people rally around what is being done on this album. And people rallying around and listening. And it's been a great conversation to bring to the table for a lot of people. And I learned some stuff I didn't know. I knew a lot, but there's a lot I didn't know that I learned. Do you have something to say before we wrap up too?
Oh yeah. This is to all the musicians. First things first, to learn an original and a beautiful lesson. What Norman said is beautiful, what Carla says is beautiful. Think about it this way. Now, Paulie wrote that song, I don't know how many years ago. Dolly wrote one of the other songs, I don't know how many years ago. They hold the copyrights to those songs. Guess who's going to get most of the money? No matter what Beyonce does, they are going to receive a chunk of the money. Always remember that. Copyright your music. Copyright it now. It doesn't cost that much. Go on and do it. Keep creating, keep writing musically. There you go.
Yep. And you too can write songs that stand the test of time. Because Blackbird, even with Dolly Parton, like we talked about with Jolene, songs that
Jolene.
have,
I loved it then. Still love it now.
and literally have stood the test of time.
Mm-hmm.
But bravo, Sir Paul McCartney, on a song that really touches, I know it touches my heart as it does all of us. And thank you to Beyonce for, I really believe, literally opening this song up to a whole new audience. And there are people that are just discovering the Beatles, discovering Paul McCartney, rediscovering the Beatles, rediscovering Paul McCartney, and discovering and rediscovering Blackbird.
Masters.
Yeah, he can teach a class on that.
Money.
But you know what? It's wonderful. And a matter of fact, I'm listening to Blackbird again, both versions. But you know what? We thank you all for joining us on the C Group podcast. We couldn't do it without producer Marcus, and we couldn't do it without you all. And shout out to some of our friends in Canada, the UK, of course, the United States, and India.
They subscribe to us.
Yep,
I love them.
yep, Brazil. There are quite a few people that we really want to thank you.
They have good taste.
Thank you for listening. And for those of you that haven't subscribed, come on, subscribe.
Well, we're gonna send Norman to talk to you.
We're not even going there. We're not even going there. If you follow us, you know exactly what he's talking about. But anyway, that's all from us from the C Group podcast. Thank you for joining us. Enjoy a little Blackbird, the original or the Beyonce version, or why not enjoy both?
Yeah.
Yep. And as always, plant a seed and watch it grow. Bye-bye.
All right.